Khan here for Seconds Out with debuting Tom Welland this Friday night. Tom, how you doing, sir? Great to meet you.
Great to meet you. I'm doing okay yet. Can't wait to want to get under the lights now and showcase my skills.
I heard you in the last interview sounding very confident, but I just wonder, I'd like to ask, approaching debutants towards their debut, any nerves creeping in at all?
A little bit. Like, obviously, this is all very new for me, so it's going to take a little bit of getting used to. But I mean, in me myself, I think boxing ability, I've got nothing to prove. A lot of people know what I can do in the ring. It's just for me just to get in there and just to showcase my skills and prove everyone that I can do it in small gloves and without a vest on.
Got a lot of family and fans travelling down?
Yeah, I've got a lot of people coming down. And obviously, for me, this is not too far away from home, but it is a little away day, so it's nice to know that there's a lot of people that are coming out of their way to come and support, and I'm forever grateful.
That's good to hear indeed. Let's dissect yourself before we get into the fight. Moving forwards, I want to know what got you into boxing in the first place? What got you to get into the gym, put on the gloves for the first time?
So originally I was playing football. So I was playing football for Cambridge, and I was always small, but they wanted me to go into the FA Youth League, which is like the first pro league as a footballer. But I've been playing 4 or 5 years up, and obviously I was very small for my age. So Thomas going to get some strength conditioning or go to the gym or something like that, and I thought, well, I don't really know where to go, but there was a boxing club around the corner, so I went to the boxing club. Was there for about a month, and I was doing both sports at the same time. Did my first championship, won my first championship while playing football at the same time. Then I thought, you know what, football's not for me, and I never signed a contract, never went into the professional football. I went into boxing instead, and yeah, it took me into where I am now. And ever since then, I've been around the gyms. I've travelled around, got loads of world-class rounds, and it's put me in a good position.
The things you can obviously take from the football game into your boxing in terms of your training or in terms of being an athlete, but obviously two completely different sports. One's a team sport, one's more of an individual sport. Did you prefer that individual style, that the onus was on yourself to get results, as opposed to, obviously teamwork is great, but relying on other people to achieve your goals?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, football's a great game, and obviously it's very team orientated. But you, like me myself, I could have a great game. The goalkeeper has a bit of a shocker, then we lose. And I used to hate that. I used to hate the fact that I could play out of my skin, goalkeeper has a shocker, and lose the game. And it used to really, really frustrate me. So I thought, obviously individual sports are so much better in terms of if I lose in there, it's down to me and only me. I like the fact that I've got control of the outcomes.
That led you to honing your craft and heading towards Friday night. For people who haven't seen you in the ring and will be seeing you obviously on Friday night, what's your style like? What sort of styles have you taken from other people you've seen around gyms or on tape that you've put into your style too?
Well, I used to watch a lot of Gennady Golovkin, obviously a lot of Mike Tyson, so I like to think I'm quite a good body puncher. In the amateurs, I used to stop a lot of people with body shots. But ever since then, obviously people then they start getting clever and they start knowing that they can't get hit with a body shot. So I had to hone my craft, and I had to perfect my IQ, and I had to really sit down and think about what can I do better. And I thought, well, I need to start, my boxing ability needs to come up a level. So I started boxing a little bit more, and now I just think I've got a good IQ. I can place my shots well, and I do think that early on I'll stop people early. Like, I've been told I'm quite a big puncher, so with a bit of luck, then I'll start stopping people early and putting a bit of a statement into the division quite early.
Is that a marker for Friday night? A lot of developing fighters want to get that first KO, that first stoppage out the way done. Is that a marker for you on Friday?
Yeah, definitely. But obviously you don't go out looking for it. You go out, you box how you box, and if it comes, it comes. And I know the geezer I'm fighting, he's quite tough. But if I land a shot and I see the opportunity and I see him wince, then yeah, I'm going to jump in for the opportunity to stop him. But if not, then we'll get the rounds in. It's no skin off my nose to get the rounds in, but yeah, we are going for the stoppage.
You're a young fighter coming through, and obviously each generation develops, and in this generation you've got a social media generation where you create clips, you create viral moments, and you push your name out there, you keep your name in people's mouths. Is that any factor in terms of your debut to get a bit of a moment that kind of goes viral and pushes your name out there as well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, obviously with a viral moment, you bring more eyeballs to your page, you bring more eyeballs to yourself, so it's a good selling point. But obviously, if it doesn't come, then yeah, there's other clips that you can use to bring more eyeballs to yourself. But it is what it is at the end of the day. You can't look at it and think, I need this, I need it. You have to just go out there and just wait for the opportunity, bide your time, and then when it comes, it comes.
Is there a piece of advice that sticks into your mind that you're taking in with you towards your debut on Friday?
I remember someone telling me that it's a pleasure to box, but it's your job to make the weight. And that ever since I was an amateur, I was told that a long time ago, but ever since I was an amateur, that's really stuck into my head, because I used to struggle making weight before when I was an amateur. Like early on, I used to struggle, so I'd never done it before. So, and then when someone told me that, I was thinking, do you know what, it's quite a statement. It's definitely true, and it's stuck into my head for a long time. And even now, I remember it now. And like I say, now everyone hates making weight. Every boxer hates making weight, but I always think of that quote, and it's my job to make the weight, and then I'll fight, and it's a pleasure to fight.
With that said, what weight are you going to be on Friday, and what weight are you looking to pursue through your career?
So I'm fighting at super bantamweight, which is about 55 kilos, and that will be where I'm going to start at. I think. Obviously, the division's very hot domestically, so if I can bring a couple of statements out early, that would be lovely. But if not, then just to put myself in the mix quite early, and as a hot prospect coming through, that's the end goal.
Super interesting mix of people and brains in the boxing sport this weekend. On Friday night. You got the Eubanks who will be present, the Furies will be present too. You're going to take some time out to pick their mind and get some advice from them as well?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, who better to get advice from other than the Eubanks and the Furies especially? So, yeah, there's so much valuable information that you can take on, and not just for this fight, but for future. You can take that and you can use it and you can develop yourself. So, yeah, 100%. I'll be taking time out to go and get some advice off of them.
Nothing's for granted for sure, but you get the win from your perspective this weekend. What do you want heading into the next year? Activity, something that all boxers want, but what's the goal for you in 2024?
Well, obviously, like you say, activity is what everyone wants, but obviously I want to be active and I want to take gradual steps up. If I'm going to put myself into that mix, then I want to showcase my skills against better and better opponents every time I get in the ring. So, gradual steps up. Maybe look at titles in 18 months or 2 years' time, and we'll just see what happens from there. But I mean, everything happens for a reason, and I believe that once I start putting in big performances and once I start taking steps up, then I'll be in the mix for sure.
Any names that you've sparred so far that you've taken a lot from the sparring?
Obviously, Dennis McCann. I've sparred a lot with Dennis McCann. Ian up Baluta. I sparred Baluta quite a few times. I've sparred too many people, I can't even know. But yeah, there's so many world-class opposition that I've sparred against. I mean, Dennis will be a world champion. Without that, yeah, all right. He had a little bit of a sloppy moment against Baluta, but I sparred him for that whole camp, and I can tell you now, he wasn't like that. That was just an off night, and I'm telling you, he'll be back, especially now training in California. He'll be back. But there's so many world-class opposition that I've sparred against, and I can't wait to get in there and show people what I can do.
So have you got a boxing nickname yet?
They call me Atomic Tom. So obviously, atomic being nuclear. So we'll see what happens, but we'll let the spectators call me whatever they want.
I actually quite like that. It's something a little bit different. Atomic Tom Welland. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. Looking forward to seeing your journey and your fight this weekend. Would you like to shout out your social medias for people who want to follow your journey, who watch this interview? Where can they find you?
Yeah. So my Instagram is @TomWelland1. I've got TikTok @Tom_Welland. Twitter TomWelland04. And Facebook stands my Instagram.
Tom, real pleasure. All the best.
Thank you.
There we go.
Thank you very much.